and he was like, "You're a and that is what's good, next again. Welcome back to my channel. If you're a new viewer, what's good? Make sure you hit that subscribe button and be a part of Next Gang, because Next Gang is the littlest gang of all gang. So if you guys are wondering why I look like my last video, it's because I'm filming it in the same day. So I told you guys that I left my best friend because she was moving, and I ended up going with this girl at school. But as I was reading my diary, I got that move and then the following move mixed up. So instead of moving with the girl, I ended up moving with my boyfriend at the time's mom's house. So I didn't go with the girl yet. I went with her after I went to the mom's house. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna get started. My boyfriend at the time, let's call him James. James and I were in a relationship this whole time because I was with him since I was 15 years old. But we were just kind of like on and off, and like he would always blow things out of proportion, like get mad at me for little stuff. Like I was just reading that we was at church one time and we got into a whole argument, and when we get into arguments, they're not quick. These arguments last 3+ hours. Why would somebody argue that long? I don't know, but they would last so long. So he was mad at me because at church, when it was time to eat, he was mad that I didn't grab him 3 slices of bread, and I was like, why didn't you get it? And he was like, because I didn't want to look like a fat ass in front of everybody because I already had 2. And I was like, but I grabbed 2 too, so what are you talking about? And his argument was, I got your hot chocolate. I sat down already, you was next to the hot chocolate. So like stuff like that, like little stuff. Like me and him just wasn't seeing eye to eye. He was very controlling and stuff. So me and him wasn't really on good terms, and he never really tried to help me in the whole process of me like getting kicked out and stuff. He never really understood. He was like too busy in college and stuff, which I didn't really blame him. He never really talked to me, so I was on my own. But when I was like in desperado mode, thinking I'm about to go into a shelter because I have nowhere else to go, he actually pulled through. I'm not sure if we was actually together at this time or we were just like talking, but I ended up moving with his mom, which I was trying to avoid from the beginning. James was a mama's boy. Let's call the mom Lupe. She never liked me. She called me ghetto. She's like, you deserve so much better, somebody who went to college, not some ghetto girl. She was very bipolar. Lupe was just so weird to me. Like, it was always a competition. She thought I was taking her son away. She would do stupid stuff, like if we're like cuddled next to each other, she would get in between us and then she would hug him and be like, oh, this is my son. Like in Spanish though, like, this is my handsome son. Who do you love more, me or her? And he'd be like, oh my gosh, mom, you, of course. Like, that is weird, like almost incest. Like, it was so disgusting to me, and I couldn't ever say anything because it was like whatever. So shorty was mad crazy, y'all. Like, there was a time where she ended up throwing my stuff out the house because she was mad because I was there. But I was dreading going there so much, and he listened to everything they said. Like, why did I have to ask her permission to get my nose pierced or my cartilage pierced? Like, he let his family control him. I don't know. I was like, if my mom wouldn't ever care, like, why should your parents care? You feel me? Like, it was mad weird. But of course I didn't have anywhere to go, so I just went. They lived great. Like, she worked a lot to try to support her kids and stuff. And so, like, I was grateful. I was sleeping in her daughter's room, but her daughter never slept in her room because her daughter slept with her. So when I moved to a place, and it doesn't matter where it is, I always lock myself in the room, even when I was living with my mom, because I don't know, I just feel like I'm in my own zone. And also, when it comes to moving to somebody else's home, you are already doing me a favor of letting me stay in your house, right? So why would I don't want you to think that I'm here. I don't want you to regret that I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just to myself, pick up after myself and whatever. But Lupe, she was so weird. Like, first of all, she never ever talked to me directly. She would tell James everything. Mind you, they're Hispanic, so it's a Hispanic thing. Like, you gotta greet them. But I just woke up. Like, first of all, I sleep until like 2 p.m. So she would get mad and talk to him and be like, I don't like your girlfriend. Like, she's disrespectful. She don't wake up in the morning, come down here and see if I'm okay. When I first moved into the house, she had just got done having some type of surgery or something, and she was upset that I wasn't going down to check up on her and stuff. And I'm like, you have grown kids that are in middle school, high school, like, You know what I've been through, what I'm going through, like what is the problem? So then he'll call me and be like, can you just please go say something? And then I'll get irritated with him like, oh my God, fine. Or I'll be like, no, like, why don't she tell me? Why is she telling you? So Lupe was causing problems in my relationship. So me and him would argue. Mind you, remember I told you we argue for like 3 hours every argument. So me and him got into it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to suck it up because I don't have anywhere to go at this time. Like, I just got kicked out. I need to be on good terms with her. And then she would get mad because she would want me to do chores, but she, like I said, she never told me. So she was like, oh my God, this girl is so lazy. She don't do anything. She don't say hi to me. This, that, the third. And it's like, dude, I clean up after myself. I'm in high school. I'm failing because I'm going through so much. And it's so hard to catch up going through all of this stuff. And you're mad at me for some petty stuff? Like, I know you don't like me, but dang, let me finish high school and figure myself out. So it was just like really awkward living there. So of course, I'm gonna lock myself in the room, try to avoid people. Of course, it was unavoidable. So I think I'm gonna read you a part of this diary around that time. I'm just talking about how I'm so glad that I could stay at Lupe's house because I was prepared to go to a shelter. James is making me mad because he be updating his mom about everything that I do. Like, sometimes I just wanna cuss him out because that's my life. I wasn't trying to move with James's mom because she never wanted me in the beginning. When everything went down with my mom kicked me out in the first place, and I first said I didn't really have anywhere to go. Lupe was like, no, I can't afford it. I can't do it. Just making up all these excuses like, no, she's not moving into my house. But before things got real and I had to move out of my mom's house, she was like, oh yeah, that was a competition for his love or whatever. She was ill. She would go off on him if he didn't call her at least every other day. Like, he always had his phone on loud because if he misses a phone call, she will go off on him and be like, so you're forgetting about me? You're ungrateful? What do you have a phone for if you can't answer it? If he didn't answer the phone quickly, she would threaten to turn his phone off and everything. It was pathetic, actually. So like, he was like always on her case, and if me and her got into it, he would always stick up for her and tell me it's wrong to not like her and all of this stuff. Like, just a whole bunch of BS. New Year's is a big thing for me. Like, I feel like on New Year's you need to go all out, and the last year there was that, and it just wasn't what I expected it to be. Like, I already had other plans and he forced me to go there. His mom got mad because she heard me on the phone saying that I was bored or something, so he got on her, and then it was just too much. So me and him started arguing and stuff. He was trying to make me apologize to her and basically kiss her ass like always, and I was like, no. Like, I tell everybody, I do not tolerate that. That is the most disrespectful thing that you could say to me. And he knew they left. That's when I moved to that girl's house that I was telling you before. So that's when I moved. Third time me moving, I'm not trying to do that, but after he called me out of my name, I was like, I gotta go. So I packed my stuff. He thought I was playing. He thought after a couple minutes I was gonna apologize and say that me not kissing his mom's ass was way worse, but I didn't, and I ended up leaving. Going to my boyfriend's mom's house, which was super duper clean. She was a neat freak, but it was like a bad situation. It was draining me mentally and emotionally. It's not what I needed after all I was going through with my mom, you know what I'm saying? So then I had to leave because he called me out my name and it was a bad situation. And then I went to this other girl's house, and that is gonna be the next story, I promise. If you love this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. And yeah, I love you, Nessa Gang, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.